everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today I am doing like a finalized drawing for the art challenge for February, which is called Faebruary or Februfairy, I think, or Februfairy, where you draw fairies every day of the month, which I didn't do the full challenge. I just kind of did a couple days where I focused on basically specifics for what I needed to work on with like the human face, which was the side profile view. So obviously this is not one of them, but out of all the small drawings I did, all the sketches, this last month, I picked my favorite to like kind of do a final complete digital drawing or illustration of, to both get better at the digital painting tools, because I usually do traditional painting, so I am kind of doing little things here and there to get better at learning the tools in this program, and just the differences between drawing digital and drawing or painting traditionally, because there's definitely a difference with how you're moving your hand, and like pressure sensitivity is a thing, because when you're drawing digitally you just have the pressure sensitive pen, and in real life you have pressure sensitivity based on your hand and how hard you're pressing your pencil or paintbrush against the canvas or paper or whatever your medium is. So that's definitely a big difference, and it's hard to get used to. There's both pros and cons to the two different styles, I guess, because in digital it is very easy to erase a mistake. It's easy to like adjust something if you want to redo a piece of it. You can also do layers differently with digital, because you can, like, especially for this drawing, I specifically did like his head and neck as one layer, and then they're called clipping the layer, and anything you colored or drew on the layer below that, it basically knows that you're only coloring or painting on that layer. So you can just focus on that one area of your art piece, your illustration. So that's definitely a difference, because layers in real life are very different. You can't just jump up to the top layer and then jump back down to the bottom layer like you can in a digital painting. But also the paint brushes and ink and whatever paintbrushes you have within a digital program take time to get used to, because they're definitely not the same as paint. And it's different when you're doing it with a pen than a paintbrush, and it's just a whole lot of getting used to. So for this drawing, I decided to pick one of my male drawings that I did, because I don't draw a lot of male characters. It's mostly female because I am a girl, so it's easier, I think, to draw just based on that fact. But I'm slowly getting used to also drawing male characters, and like the differences in facial structures, and the fact that there's facial hair, and just it's very different than drawing a female character. And of course the ears, I made them pointy, so that's another thing that when you think about the ear structure, I don't know that I'm perfect at drawing the human ear in itself, so then trying to elongate a human ear into an elf or fairy ear also takes some thinking about, and so I didn't make the ear super in-depth, but I got the idea of the fact that it's not quite a human ear in its structure. And I wasn't quite sure what colors to go with, so I kind of started with more of a pastel for his face and hair, because it kind of gave almost like a glow feeling to it, which I wanted it to be more magical and not make it reminiscent of a human as much. And then the wings, I wasn't quite sure how I wanted them to be, so I kind of made them pretty simple, almost like just regular insect type wings, almost like dragonfly type design a little bit. I also adjust the colors towards the end of this to get kind of closer to what I wanted, because I felt like even while just laying down the base green color, it was a little bit like off from what I really wanted. So here I am adding just some wing texture, and I actually had kind of fun to like just I guess whoosh the pen across the tablet I have to make those texture lines, and just practice my I guess it's like gesture sketching, where you're just like loose and fast with your wrist when you draw the line. That's kind of what I went with on his wings. They almost kind of look like leaves too, instead of like bug wings. So I just kind of played around with that. And then I wanted his shirt to be a darker color, but I didn't want to do black. So I did like a navy blue. And then the next steps after I fill in the rest of him is doing more lighting and shadow work. And I still kind of left it more illustrative instead of getting too much into it, because I did try, because you see, or I've seen where a lot of artists do a very like very like apparent lighting shadow, or lighting like a light beam and shadowing effect, and then like have really pretty colors, and their color palette is just really nice, and the lighting is great. And now I'm thinking I maybe should have just looked up a color palette and went off of that to get the colors I wanted for him, but maybe next time. So he's close to being complete. Here is where I shade his face a little bit more to try and play with the shadows. And try my hand at doing something like I've seen, but I know it's going to take a lot of practice to kind of understand in my artist brain how to do that, especially because I am not usually a digital artist, so even just the fact that I don't understand the program I'm using as well as some of those fantastic artists that do the crazy light effects is also why I struggle with something like this. But it's just something that I have to work on, and it's something I'm slowly learning as I learn the digital art process, because it definitely takes practice, just like drawing in a sketchbook takes practice, which is full circle because I did a couple Faebruary sketches just to get this final illustration. I am gonna leave you with the last few minutes of me finishing up this illustration, adding a darker background and some magical pixie effects with some magic dust around him. Thank you so much for watching this video or listening to me talk about this illustration. And I post art videos not as frequently as I used to, but I still post every once in a while. So if you like videos like these, please subscribe to keep updated when I do upload. And I will see you whenever I post my next video.